NBA general manager, quote, I think they want Kyrie and they like Kyrie, but what I can tell you is that Luka, who was not against the trade, doesn't want to share, like many young players today. Kyrie was on great behavior, like he was doing everything to try to win over Luka and be a teammate. Every single player on that team loves Kyrie from his time there so far. I do think there's some skepticism going forward for what they're going to offer him. They're not completely naive, but Kyrie's behavior was excellent. It was more the fact that Luka had to adjust to playing with such a great player. Everyone there has been saying Kyrie's incredible. Luka said it, and he means it, but I think he just doesn't want to share. He doesn't know how. He's out there on the court. The ball has been in his hands no matter what. It's his ball. And now there's actually consideration. I might need to pass the ball to somebody else and let them do the magic instead of me just waiting for the clock to run down and shoot a step-back three from the hash mark. I get it. I understand. It happens all the time in our league. We forget he's 24. At some point, he's going to want someone like that. He just isn't there yet. Make an All-NBA, MVP conversation. Those things will be tarnished a little bit if you're playing with someone else that on one-third of the nights needs the ball and is better than you at those times.
Woo. Yeah, that's a hit piece. That is a hit piece on Luka right there. And if I'm Luka, I'm upset because, like, first of all, it makes me look bad. But second of all, like if you're a player around the league, let's say you're a budding superstar or you are a superstar, do you really want to go play with someone who league sources say doesn't want to share the basketball? Like if you're Bradley Beal, do you want to go play with Luka? He may be a good fit. You know, he may be a good fit, but still, like,
yeah.
Do you really want that? Hey, if he didn't make it work with Porzingis, and he can't make it work with Kyrie, like, isn't sooner or later not everyone else's fault?
Well, Bobby was saying we're going to have to win here with Luka like they did back in the Dirk days of never having a true two, and you just have to get perfect role players, some that can just defend, some that can just shoot. You can't get a true Robin here.
Okay, well, then you're never a dynasty.
Yep.
Like, you gotta hope for the Giannis, Dirk, Kawhi
lightning
championship.
In a bottle. Yep.
Good luck. I mean, good luck. I don't know how it's gonna work. I really don't. I don't know how it's gonna work.
Is it fair obvious or unfair to talk about Luka being selfish with the basketball?
Is it fair?
My guess is you're gonna say it's really fair.
I mean,
deadly accurate.
That's kind of what it is, right? I mean, is he not?
Well, here's the reason I ask is because if you just want to go to the numbers, we always had this debate with Westbrook. I would say Westbrook's really selfish. I don't care about his assist numbers. And you'd say, well, you know, it's kind of the same numbers as other players who we give props to. We do pick apart the way that you have your assists. All assists are not created equal. They actually had that argument on TNT. And even though Luka is an amazing passer, right? He's a God-gifted passer. He can get anyone involved really at any time. Are all Luka's assists created equal, or are they misleading?
Some are assists by necessity. Like, you have the ball. Like, when Luka crosses the timeline, let's ask you this. With LeBron, I've always said Luka is...
Because Luka is... Where is he in assists? He's 9.
He's the same as... He's
8 assists a night.
He's very similar to Westbrook.
I actually thought his numbers would be higher in
when
assists.
LeBron crosses the timeline, is he looking for his shot? The first thing on his mind?
No. Right. The other night, he didn't shoot or didn't score in the first quarter or something. LeBron's mission and goal every night is, can I delay scoring so everyone else gets involved and they get going? That's what he thinks of first.
Yeah, and when Luka crosses the timeline, what's his first thought?
Score.
Yep. You know, and that'll come with that. Hopefully it comes with age. Hopefully it does, where he realizes he can't do it all by himself.
Right.
But, you know, like when you're the primary ball handler, you've got a job to make sure the offense flows. Now, it could flow through you and still flow. But we have said this is a very slow-moving offense. Doesn't get started really until 8 to 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah.
Or less.
He's not going to move without the ball. You never see him get a layup off a backdoor cut.
Nope.
You never see him, be the recipient of a pass while he's on the move. It just doesn't happen.
No, he doesn't move.
He doesn't move.
He does. He's got his game. His game's great. The game he has is great. But there are things there are so many more things that he could do without the basketball to be better, to improve the team. And he just doesn't do it.
CBS Sports tiered. They put into categories the trade possibilities. There's a Luka trade article. Number 1, the Oklahoma City Thunder. We know they have assets. Mm-hmm. My goodness, do they have assets. Number 2, Denver. I've always told you, at some point in time, Luka and Joker will play together. They will play together. They could put both Jamal Murray and Michael Porter on the table in a deal with the Mavs. I was trying to see who the other pieces would be in Oklahoma City. Good grief, they just have so many assets. They already have their MVP candidate in SGA. They have Josh Giddey, Jalen Williams, and a number 2 overall pick set to debut. Oh, that's Chet Holmgren. And then I don't even know how many draft picks they have left. Number 3, the New York Knicks. So those 3 teams can you imagine freaking Luka and Brunson teaming back up in New York? So those are the 3 favorites according to CBS. OKC, Denver, and the Knicks. There's a report from John Hollinger. Utah is keeping an eye on all this. They are in the next category in the conversation with Toronto, New Orleans. You got the Pelicans. You got the Jazz. Let's see. They wouldn't include. They could do this without. They have 11 tradable first-round picks in the summer of 2024. Dang. 11 tradable first-rounders. That way they would not have to deal Lauri Markkanen and Kessler, their defensive anchor. So Toronto is in it. Boston, if the timing is right, category. And then you get to the other teams in the league. So it's out there now. A Luka Doncic trade article.
Get the ransom ready. I mean, if you're going to do that, if you're going to move on from him, I mean, you better get everything. What did the Suns just give it for KD? 4 firsts or something like that? You better get more than that because of his age. You better get that team's next 10 first-round draft picks, which is not even allowed, right? I mean, NBA's got these weird rules about how many draft picks in a row you can get.
Yeah.
Because I don't want players for them.
NBA first-rounders, we just talked about how we don't want draft picks.
We don't want draft picks.
You didn't want to tank.
Everything's got to be unprotected.
That's yeah.
Because, we all know that Luka will fall into an unprotected first-round pick every now and then.